another season. Back with JR to talk about what happened. How's it going,
Yes,
JR? Welcome.
definitely a long time. I think Huron asked if it was the first season of the 8 teams per conference, and that just told me that we just haven't done a podcast in a while because this is the first season for that.
It is,
And
but also, come on, Daniel, get with the picture. We're from
yeah, Daniel, and also we talked about it in the chat. So
yeah.
whatever.
Read the
Anyway,
commission announcements, Daniel.
Uh.
But, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I'm excited to expand. I think it's always more fun when we have more teams in the mix, and more of a chance to knock off Denver or Rochester, which is
Rochester these days. That's the team to beat.
it is. He's somehow less of a bad guy than Jay. He just for some reason he flies under the radar as a bad guy. Michael does. But 3 of 4 championships, he's definitely circling.
And winning the division kind of easily compared to everybody else.
Yeah, I mean that division race was pretty close, but kind of never in doubt from front to finish. It really felt like his to lose.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's take a look at those final standings real quick. Yeah, in the Sapphire, Steve in the Blue Crabs, recovering from a really slow start, and Steve was ready to throw in the towel, but 100-win season, first place, gonna get the home seed advantage, at least until the conference championship, and gonna get to face you in the first round, so one of the two of you OGs gonna remain championless here, because you're gonna have to knock each other off here in the first round.
I was excited to get Steve in the first round. I like this format. I said it before. This is the difference between OOTP simulation and real life, right? So in real life, I'd tell you that there's too many teams, and that we'd be watching these meaningless playoff games and all this stuff, and people wouldn't be paying attention. But here, it's different because now it's a level of competition that 16 GMs can compete against each other in, and it's fun, man. And I love going into Baltimore here. This is a fun matchup for me.
Yeah, I think it should be acknowledged too. There's been some really bad teams in the TBL this year. I'm included in that category. So there's a lot more teams that have a winning record that are probably inflated a little bit. I'm not saying you or Baltimore or anybody specifically, but I was just surprised. I guess we added a wildcard team on each side. And we've had years where an under 500 team has made it in as the 7th seed, but everybody this year is above 500. So that just kind of speaks towards how bad the bottom was.
Yeah, Tampa Bay and Memphis helped out those teams in those divisions, giving them a little bit of a bump in wins. And that matters for seeding, but once again, it's baseball, so let's see what happens.
And I have to throw my team in there at a historically bad second half. So
you finished 15 games ahead of Tampa Bay.
I know, that's amazing. It's amazing. I went 1 in 25, 11 games ahead 25 in August. So all right. So yeah, no, you guys are pretty evenly matched up. You are 2 GMs that have faced each other a bunch of times, so it should be a good series. Let's take a look at Steve's team, just to see who kind of carried the weight this year. Steve Westbrook is the name that comes to mind. It's the one that always comes up in the review by our newest author, or our newest sports pizza writer, Hemlock.
We're going to talk about him. We're probably going to talk about him often during this pod, but yeah.
Westbrook had a great season. He's been a freaking dog since he got in the league. He's been
who do we have on here? I just heard somebody here.
Oh, yeah, Jay, it's super quiet. I can't hear you.
Sorry, let me try to. Is that any better?
No, not any better.
Damn it. Okay. I'll try something else next.
Don't you have a voice actuator? Don't you do? Jay's
Going rain delay.
Jay's funny. Yeah. Anyways, Steve Westbrook.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, Steve Westbrook.
Yes, let's go back.
Yeah.
Where's Westbrook? Yeah, Westbrook's been like so good. Sub 3 ERA almost every season. Throws over 200 innings.
Yeah, I mean, Steve's starting pitching's always been good. I think his position players have grown up a bit at a good time. And he added Roy Bell.
Yeah,
So
that was a great signing.
yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. So you sign a Hall of Famer. If you get a chance to sign a Hall of Famer, you go do it. He was talking about it, telegraphing it throughout the throughout the off season, and he got his guy. It's a very good staff. I mean, let's see where are they at here.
They tell you too, who's in the running for a free agent in the offseason. And Roy Bell had shoppers. I think there were 3 or 4 teams trying to pick him up. So Steve won a bidding war there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of an anchor piece he hasn't had in the postseason in a long time.
Yeah. This is a lineup. Listen, all right. So we talk about the Denver trades. He got this guy Soto, who Denver gave up, and now I'm pissed Jay gave his guy away to
Who is this guy?
Oh, there we go.
Soto. Jorge Soto.
Oh no. That's funny. Of all the guys that I've traded away, this was not a guy that I remembered that he was a guy. He's amazing.
Yeah. So that was a fleece. My scout has him considerably jacked.
Look at Jonathan Martins. This was a guy I called out in one of the news stories. Came up at the deadline. He struck out 103 guys in 78 innings and threw 13 starts. No control, but he's pitched really well.
Yes, I love those type of pitchers. He's a guy who's a little bad luck. 320 BABIP for Martin. So he strikes a lot of people out, but maybe a lot of hard contact. When he's wild, he could be wild in the zone. But I like this team. It's going to be a shame when they lose, but I wanted to see Kenny Cripps. I don't want to see Kenny Cripps get hurt, but I wanted to see what Steve would have said about Kenny Cripps if he were to get hurt. Anyways,
yeah, that was a big pickup. He added some insurance to the bullpen. That's already a good bullpen. So.
Oh my goodness, it's such a ridiculously good bullpen. I can't. Yeah, this team is tough, man.
The sleeper pickup here too, Mark Cobb, right at the trade deadline. He finally went out and signed him. I'm not sure why this guy sat out there. This is like, Leo just joined us, like the Tampa GM, and we've got.
This is the guy that Somerville's going to look to victimize here.
There were people with money though, like why is this guy sitting in free agency? Go sign this guy, then trade him and retain him for 50%, or just hold him for the.
Told teams to do that, and they didn't do it.
I know, I saw that, Jay. I saw that, and that's what people should be doing. So.
Well, this is a guy who behind the plate I'm looking to victimize with some return of sliders up on him.
Yeah, he really kind of shouldn't be a catcher. His issue is that he's like a tweener. He's like a decent hitter, but he's not a great hitter, and then he can't really catch at this point.
It's good value though, for sure. So.
And you steal off the pitchers, so the pitchers do a good job of holding the runners. He's not anywhere near the bottom of the league, and runners thrown out, he's right in the middle, 10th at 22.9% of runners thrown out. So maybe a bad strategy by me, but we're turning up the sliders on him.
I'll tell you, I was really hoping that Steve would follow through with his annual threat to sell everyone on the team at the beginning of the year, and he did not, and ended up winning 100, so not bad.
Those are false statements. They're correct. Steve is not going to. Obviously, he just fleeced you for a first baseman. So
That's
Steve
right.
Steve isn't out there just to give players away.
Yeah, he got off to a really bad start, 11-50 in April, and I think that leaked into May. Honestly, I think he was like 11 and like 19 or something. Panic button was up, but got really hot down the stretch. Look at this. He's been 27-7 in September and October, so let's see if it carries over. And the team he beat out, Montreal, we'll get to them in a second, but let's just talk about you, JR, since we're kind of doing a playoff preview, and this is the matchup. Thoughts on your team this year?
Disappointing offense. Reyna, I don't know. He got hit by a couple pitches and then fell off as far as being able to, just get the array of hits that he used to get. Singles, doubles, triples, and homers. And I don't know, it's a lot of bad. It seems like it's just a lot of bad luck because, the contact numbers seem the same. Posey still elite. But I don't know, I'm going through some things with certain guys. I traded some veterans away. There was a bit of, you can look at Posey's strategy tab if you want, because I don't really care. Yeah. Oh, you have to do that. All right. Yeah, I jammed his thing down. Like, he wasn't running all year. I didn't let this guy run all year, and he stole like 40 bases. And it's something where, like I said, Steve, I'm gonna turn that shit way the fuck up. Sorry. And that's something where, I played at half speed all year, and it kind of came back to bite me. None of the pitchers pitched enough. Bob Reyes is the man. He didn't pitch enough. Some other GMs would probably get this guy to 300 or 280 Ks, the way he racks up the Ks, but I don't know. He's fragile. I'm a little scared to push him past a certain amount of innings at this time of his career, but once again, we're going to get this guy on the mound and let him pitch as many innings and pitches as he wants. Yeah, we had a collapse down the stretch. I blame the insurgents from New York, Billy Perez and BJ Reyna. Yeah, they weren't great. Yeah, fucking Billy Perez.
At one point would have been a marquee.
Look at that. This one got lit up. I was like, first off, RTS needs to. We gotta. If we did RTS more often, there'd be a lot more maniacs in this league. Because that was pissing me off. Those guys just got out there and they just got lit, and I knew that was like New York bullshit. I'm sorry. Maybe he's not listening, but it was that, we don't want to pitch or play in October. Shit, we don't do that in Somerville, so that kind of annoyed me. But bullpen stacked. I like the bullpen. We have a circle of trust there, of like 5 guys. More than that, a lot of Ks. I think we should have led the league in strikeouts this year. I didn't even check, but tons of Ks. The defense is the defense.
Strikeout, great defense.
Yeah, I mean, if we can run prevent and get some timely hitting, or it's whatever. Let's let the random number generator, do its thing. And not too many injuries. I think I got my shortstop out. I don't know. I might play him regardless. But that's it. Subpar year. Reyna's going to the lab. Hopefully he does steroids. That's it.
This is better than an 88 win team. I mean, this is a really.
Oh yeah, but that's my fault. That's totally my fault because I didn't push these guys at all. I mean, they're nice guys. They're not like Brian McIntosh. But if I had a Brian McIntosh on this team, he'd be showing up with at all time, 2 hours after game time and shit like that. I mean, I was really not expecting much as far as he's pushing these guys hard throughout the season. So that's on me.
We need a Sports Illustrated update to hear about what's going on with Brian McIntosh.
Yeah, don't let Hemlock push out the Sports Illustrated editions.
Those, well, yeah, I got to start doing those again.
6-6 season series again. Probably is going to be a
Yeah.
good matchup. So.
Yeah, that is exactly where I want to go. It's someplace where it's a team I know, and it's a team that I build my team to try to beat. So I like the matchup.
All right, next up we've got Montreal. Take a look at Montreal getting second place this year. Josh finally getting the machine over the hump. Really a great season. Took advantage kind of like around the All-Star break, or took the lead, and then never really looked back. Kind of dueled with Steve there at the end. Longest playoff drought in TBL history, maybe. Not anymore. Now that belongs to Cincinnati, but 2009, the last time this team saw the postseason, so that's pretty exciting. And Josh's personal history, he's been with Montreal for a decade, so I'm pretty happy. I'm sure he's pretty happy to get to the postseason. Looking back at his personal history, he won a championship back in 2015. I think sometimes people forget that. And he made the postseason 5 straight years as the Herons GM. I don't think we give him all the credit for that work, because I think that was right after Michael kind of left that franchise. So happy to see Josh back in the postseason with a good team here. What are your thoughts on the machine?
They had a rough go of it last year, and I thought they were a much better team than their record was, and he's really put it all together. I mean, some guys certainly overperforming a bit. This guy, Sakaguchi, he's batting second for him. Probably not that good, but still, a good-ish player. Really, he's playing DH, so can't field at all, but certainly put together a really good year all around. And injuries are kind of the big issue for him. He's got Tangney is out, and then I think his top pitcher Crop is out also, so that's going to be tough in the postseason.
Yeah, I think that broke him. Especially the pitcher. Shortstop, you may be able to, he's got this guy, Omar Palacio, who, I don't know, might be able to hit. Doesn't look like he's too much of a hitter yet. But, yeah, you lose your number one. It's kind of tough for an upstart team like this to really do anything. It's tough. I don't like it's a tough place to play. They out-homer their opponents. If you go into their building, let's see, they out-homer their opponents by about 29. So they're gonna use a long ball. Without these big guys, it really sucks. It was tough to see the shortstop go, but the kick to the groin was the ace Krupp. It's a bittersweet thing. It really is. It's such a bittersweet thing, because you're just rolling if you're this team. This team hasn't rolled like this in forever.
Yeah, this is a super interesting team, right? I think we'll see what they do in the first round. It'll be interesting, but I think this is a case of baby steps. This team hasn't seen the postseason forever. It's a win from here on out, no matter what they do. And can they grow from here? Maybe get into the postseason healthy, and moving forward. It's all house money this year. Yeah, they've got some interesting people, right? Like in the third and fourth position now. 10 home runs between those two guys, hitting cleanup basically. Yeah, I'm curious to see what he's going to put out there for a roster.
Yeah,
who's going to start.
I'm looking at the shortstop, Tangney, and yeah, his defense is a weapon. So that's almost like losing another pitcher the way this guy plays defense.
Let's highlight though, this team didn't slow down after the injuries. They kept taking whacks and they kept winning. So they weren't winning as much as they were in July and August, but it's not like they went inverse and started losing. So we'll see if they can keep any momentum. Jim Taunton, ERA leader, wins leader, strikeouts leader. We didn't look at him. Had back-to-back pretty good seasons in Montreal. 30-year-old lefty.
He's a guy. I mean, he doesn't have like